because they have to answer to your crime. They have to answer to the missing money and all the vibes, ladies and gentlemen. So we want them here. But we're coming for them, and they must be, in their pants, I wouldn't exactly say the name. But yes, I'm here on behalf of CCM, and we're very short. We are very glad as CCM to be part of the struggle and the resistance for electoral reform, working with the Electoral Reform Coalition affiliate. So we are very strong on that. And I will tell you, in the recent time, they're really not sure where they be with electoral reform. Because we have written them to get a meeting. Last week wasn't good. This week they're supposed to consult the Attorney General for it. They say up to now you pass a audit. So they're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. And for all of that, we have to keep the fight. Yes. Those of you from Day East, are you here? Day East, I want to see you. And Rivier Spirit and La Plaine and Grand Fond. Yes, I pick on you in particular because there was supposed to be a health fair. But we tell them we'll have the health fair another time. The priority is to be here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So we deal with them on that one. And in respect of the Minister of Justice and Security and the Chief of Police, yes, we have answered to your scaremongering. We show them we fear no more. Fear no more, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody going to scare us from exercising our fundamental right in the Commonwealth of Dominica, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why I'm here. And that's why we are here. And I just want to say, it has to be unity of purpose, ladies and gentlemen. We have to sink all the little petty differences, all the little political differences, and we have to be in the fight for the national effort, ladies and gentlemen, to save the Commonwealth of Dominica from the morass it is today under the scary flag. They call it the National or the New Scary Party, ladies and gentlemen, according to Mr. Matthew Wong. So that is where we are. And we tell them fear no more. And this is the first sign of the march to victory, ladies and gentlemen. Look at it, Tiwayo. Look at it, Tiwayo, ladies and gentlemen. We must change that nonsense in Dominica with that mismanagement. No rule for the law, ladies and gentlemen. A lawless government and a lawless man, ladies and gentlemen. So here we are, and we are rallying for the national effort. We have to be more nationalistic in Dominica to win that fight for justice, for human rights, and for electoral reform in Dominica. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all of you for coming. And we'll see you another time, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright, the ERC Electoral Reform Coalition chairperson is not here. We're represented by Paul Celestine, and she's going to share a few thoughts with you. Come on, put your hands together for her, please.
Champion moves like family preaching. I remember better days we shared together. Oh, when will the good light shine on me again?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, my lovely people. Messieurs, 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 minimum. I see why Roosevelt gives advice to Blackmore and Blackmore gives advice to a man who called himself a commissioner of police, Davidson Valerie. That's why they had to get scared. Because look at the amount of people that are here this evening. If all these people that are here this evening decide to stay on the streets of Roseau, this thing that calls itself a government, they must go. This evening, I stand here as a member of the ERC, the Electoral Reform Coalition. The ERC is much interested and involved in the struggle for comprehensive electoral reform in Dominica. And we are demanding that we the people have a serious say in what electoral reform has to bring to Dominica. But we are saying we have to take our country back by any means necessary, because they will not give us electoral reform, so we have to take it. And every serious and right-thinking Dominicans have to decide to remain in the street until this thing that calls itself a government that have been ruling our country for over 20 years. People are struggling. I'm saying electoral reform is not for labor rights. It's not for UWP supporters. It's not for freedom rights or any political party. It is for Dominica and Dominicans. And this is the reason why we have to demand that Roosevelt get out of office. Because for Dominica to grow, these commerce and gangsters we have in office, they must go. And we are saying 2024 is the year. We are not going to let 2024 finish before this thing is office. Today, what they try to do is to stall you and myself from coming here and putting fear in the minds of Dominicans. But we are saying no. Fear no more, my people. The struggle is real, and this is why we must take our country back. When we live here, we are supposed to be a plan B, because we cannot come every day and listen to this speaker and that speaker and this other speaker and go back to our home in our comfort zone. We are saying enough is enough, and we need to take Dominica back. And when we listen to Valerie and we listen to Blackmore talking his rubbish, let's not come here and let the water there. Let's not have this meeting here us. Let's not have any fear in our mind. Because if fear in our mind, we will not get results. So we are saying 2024 is the year. And we are demanding that these people have to get out of office. Thank you very much.
songs I feel so much like Dominica, a great champion whose life completely changed. I remember better days we shared together. Oh, when will the good light shine on me again? When you want to get more, pick up your oppressors. Then who can you turn to? Who will speak up for you? In this country, who talk, some will run for the rocks, but the rocks won't rescue them. Cause I feel like I would be like a don't trust me, don't trust me. In my body of desolation, do not trust me.
Oh. I trust you all you coming. Because I know all you will do the right thing. Am I right? All you will do the right thing. Later down in the proceedings, we have a subject on the other paper that we will present to you to ask you to help us do. Is that alright? Good, because we're changing things. Everybody still changing things? I heard a gentleman spoke one of those days, and he spoke like a champion. And then after him, another champion will come. They both carry the same surname. First, make welcome Mr. Wayne James as he comes to speak to you.
Good evening, Dominica. I want to say thanks for having all of you here this evening, because this is an important business that we are doing, the country's business. But before I get to the subject that I'm supposed to deal with this evening, I want to say how happy I am to have some of the Dominican folks, some good friends of mine, all the way from Canada, who came here under unfortunate circumstances because of the death of their dad, and who made it possible to be here tonight to stand with us as Dominicans here at home. So I want to say to Rowan and the entire family, thanks for being here this evening. I want all of us to send food. I want all of us with a cell phone to put the cell phone up and light the cell phone. Everybody, let's do that quickly. Let's do that quickly. There's a reason why I'm asking you all to do that, and you will find out very soon. Everybody, let's light the cell phone. I want the media to get this, because this is an important time for us in Dominica. Yes, this is looking beautiful, beautiful. And we are doing this because I'm going to tell you now. We had an unfortunate situation in the Commonwealth of Dominica a few days ago. And that situation involved someone that we all love across the political divide. This is a man we call Edison Chenfield James. Some misguided individual decided that he must place Mr. Edison James in the holding cells among criminals. For us as family, this was a very difficult moment for us. But we want to thank all of you who called, whether by cell phone, who came in person, and to stand with us. We want to say that we are grateful for this. And this symbol is to tell the world, and I want to hear you say after me, Mr. James, we love you, and we are prepared to stand with you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You can put on the sign. And now, I'm going to deal with the business that I'm here to deal with. As As you all know, I'm a member of the Electoral Commission. And at this time, it is very sad to know that your Electoral Commission is non-functional. I want to repeat this. It is very sad that your Electoral Commission is non-functional at this time. I want all of you, when you get back to your homes, to read a passage of scripture. It comes from 2 Chronicles 20, 11 to 20. This is homework that I'm giving all of you this evening when you get to your homes. The Electoral Commission, of which I'm part of, we took a decision 6 years ago to do an exercise called verification exercise. That was a unanimous decision taken by all members of the Electoral Commission. At the time, the chairman of that Electoral Commission was a gentleman by the name of Gerard Burton. Along with Gerard Burton was Alec Lawrence, Kondwani Williams, Hilary Shillingford, my colleague, and myself. We took that decision because we understood that the people of Dominica wanted true democracy. They wanted good governance. And in order for them to achieve that, they wanted to ensure that they had free and fair elections. And as such, we met and we decided to do that exercise. That verification exercise was shared with the political parties of this country. We wrote to them, we met with them, and although the political parties, they wanted complete re-registration, they decided to make a compromise because they realized that the verification exercise would have achieved the very same thing. And that exercise was an exercise where we are going to engage enumerators to go from house to house in Dominica and to verify persons on that list, both in Dominica and those living overseas. And those who do not meet the criteria, they will be taken off that list. And after that would have been done, we will be rolling out the voter ID cards. I want to report to you here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, that at the Electoral Commission office, now we have all of the machines that we need to roll out the voter ID cards. But the governance that we have, and I'm making this statement because I'm a member of the Electoral Commission, they have no interest in electoral reform, and I'm talking about true electoral reform. The reason being, they have hijacked the electoral system, they understand the weaknesses of the electoral system, and they understand very well that if these weaknesses have to be taken into consideration and fixed, that they can't govern this country any longer. And as such, we ask the government for in the region of $450,000 to do that exercise. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to report to you this evening that we never heard from the government in relation to that. This level of disrespect for an independent organization called the Electoral Commission was disrespected by the gentleman who held the purse of Dominica at the time. I do not know if he still holds the purse of Dominica. You all can answer that. And that is the state we are at right now. And I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, before I leave, because I know there are several speakers at the back of me, Hilary Shillingford and myself, over the years, we have fought internally on behalf of every Dominican. We are now standing publicly here, standing with you all, fighting for the very same reason. But I want to ask you all a question this evening. Are you really ready, or do you want electoral reform? I'm listening. Brothers and sisters, if you are ready for electoral reform, I'm speaking about real electoral reform, I want to promise you this evening that here is Shillingford and myself, we are ready, we are waiting, and we will lead once you all Dominicans, all of the persons that I'm seeing here, and in particular the young people of this country, we will lead you all. We will give you the information that you need, because we believe an educated people will do the right thing. Brothers and sisters, I feel good standing here. I'm honored to be here this evening to share with you all. And we are waiting because we know that there was an exercise done by the government. I call it a confusion. I understand that the observers that were here have sent a report to the Honorable Prime Minister. But he has not shared that report with anybody. Because I can speak from my end on electoral reform. We have not seen such report. But I have gotten word that the report is not favorable to them. Because these men and women who were here, they understood what took place. They knew that this was a sham, a political organized sham, under the pretense of consultation. But we are waiting. And I can assure you all this evening that any correspondence in relation to this, dealing with the business of the people of Dominica, we will share it with you so that you all can take the right decision. I want to say to you all this evening, the devil setting traps, but please don't fall for it. Be steadfast. Keep your feet on the ground. And understand that you, the people of Dominica, have the power in your hand. And as I leave, Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but yourself. And free your mind. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you. God bless you. Get home safe. And we will hear from you. Thank you very much.
I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, that after Wayne James, we will have another James. That James was responsible for helping change the economy of the lovely Commonwealth of Dominica. That James, that same James, came to us at a point where we were as afraid as people are today. And I remember him saying in his own indomitable voice, fear no more, fear no more. We saw that Mr. James, in my humble view, being abused by the system. Still being abused by the system. Just because they freed the man. They freed the man, so they're abusing him. But we love the gentleman. And so tonight I'm going to ask you to show some love, ladies and gentlemen, to the former Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica, Nelson James.
We don't have the money. We don't have the money. Everybody work on your money. You don't know you are free. Money. Always just your money. We don't have the money. Man never see come see. We stop the country money. Buy election and the mansion. No, we going after credit union. You see, we want to be so for people money.
Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Wonderful to see you. To see you, wonderful. You know, in our system, people have letters behind their name. like BA and MA and PhD and those kind of things. Some people have letters in front of their names, like A and B for ambassador and SIR for sir, PM for PM. I have in front my name IM. Inmates. And every inmate has a number. And my number is inmate 6000000006 billion. Inmate 6 billion. But I want from the outset to thank all of you, Dominicans, across the political spectrum, for the love and the concern that you showed and you expressed while I was in the calaboose. And let me tell you, when I went in there, I heard clang, clang, clang. The first clang was when the iron gate closed, clang. The next one was when they pushed the bolt across, clang. And the next one was when they put it down, clang. I was there, in the calaboose. But ladies and gentlemen, I am not alone in this. Let me tell you, I already say, of the people in this country who, because they decided to show that they have a different position than this administration on certain issues, they found themselves either arrested, jailed, or just harassed. And you have Soul Post. Soul Post, be not afraid. And you have Seth Bussy. And you have Poro, a fellow from Oregon. You know they arrest Poro, say he thief tires. And when they arrest him, they go around the village asking for somebody to say he thief the tire from. They arrest him first, you know, for thieving tires. And then they go around, could you please, I have a man here, I want to jail him for thieving tires. Could you help me out, please? And when they go around, so they have Poro. And they have Boston, Johnson Boston. They have Claudia Sanford. Are you taking notes? Danny Nugent. They have Brian Linton. Oh, Brian Linton is the star. I told them they should just bring a nice building run by the prison and just hold Brian there because they like him so much. Every minute they're picking him up. Instead of wasting fuel to go up to the front, just build a nice thing around there for the man. And every so often you just bring him in. Brian Linton. And you have Lofty. And you have Atatan Martin. And you have Buju. And you have Pyro. And you have all the Reverend Brumbarry. Hector John, that he was the goal. And you have Tom Sufonti. And you have Lennox Linton. And you have Joseph Isaac. And why are you laughing? Yes, Joseph Isaac was there with us. That is Mr. President. And then suddenly, Joseph Isaac do his machine, and he is no more with us. But I want to thank my lawyer, Dylan Richards, for his brilliant work, ladies and gentlemen. My local lawyer. And I want to thank my overseas lawyer, Zaida James, the one who took our election matter right up to the CCJ, and we got the CCJ to say that that election in 2009 was nonsense. But I want to say, as we talk about those actions by the government to jail us, look at all of us here tonight. They cannot put all of us at Stock Farm. No. So, you hear what I hear? They're going to be a new king. But hold on. The same day I was put in jail, Russia killed the opposition leader in jail. But where was he in jail? In Siberia, they tell me. The coldest part of Russia. So that is what those dictators do when they plan to kill you. They put you in jail, but they put you in the coldest part of the country.
So where's the coolest part in Dominica? No? No? So they cannot put all of us at stock farm. So they're going to build a new jail in Loda. In Loda? So when they put us, they arrest us, no longer will we hear people saying they're going to put you to stock farm. They'll be saying they're going to put you to Loda. Loda. I not see that. Or you like to call you know how you like to arrest me. Loda is where they're going to put the new jail so they can put political prisoners. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is serious business. We are here tonight primarily because we want to stand up as a people to say it is time to bring back our money. Money say she has problems because we don't have the money. And she's the one who feels it most, you know, because she had to tell the people to go and shake the land to be able to continue their education. And she knows about the money that we have generated from our citizenship, from our passport money, ladies and gentlemen. So that is why she says we don't have the money. And Dai says, bring money. And Dai didn't just say bring money, you know, he says, Salam alaikum. How are you this morning? Man, polite, you know. Asking politely for money, ladies and gentlemen. And I've said before and I say again, this is not a fight against Skerrit, against the Labour Party, against anybody. It is a fight for us. It is a fight for us. When with all the billions of dollars that we have generated from our passport sales, we are not able to get medical treatment at the hospital. When contractors are not able to earn a living and they're going bankrupt. I just saw a guy here with a drill, he tells me he's a plumber and he hasn't been able to get work for how many months and years. That is why he's here with his plumbing tool, ladies and gentlemen. When we have generated billions of dollars, ladies and gentlemen, and people, business places in this country are owed millions of dollars because the government cannot pay, ladies and gentlemen. One company, I understand, is owed $4 million. That is what I hear. I'm going to check it out with my partner tomorrow to ask him whether the figure is correct. And we are all feeling it. How can it be wrong for us to stand up for our money, ladies and gentlemen? I am suggesting that Roosevelt Skerrit, no matter how wicked we say he might be, he would not have money and have the problem with the people of West Asia. Is here, you get money yet? We don't know. No. He would not have money and not be able to pay those people. So he doesn't have the money. So it is we. He is afraid to tackle the man whom he has given our money. He's looking for us to help him. He's looking for us to help him. We're prepared to help him because in that we help in ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. But what is annoying to me, you know, is that we have one man whom Mr. Skerrit has given our money. To whom? That man is wherever he is. We don't know. And he's the one who is controlling all of us. He who holds the purse controls. He's controlling all of us. And he tells us which building we should build, and who should build it, and where the builder should come from, how we should be paid, when we should be paid. Companies which have built bigger buildings than those are now on the verge of bankruptcy, and their children cannot eat a bread and they cannot pay their water bill, and this man have our damn money, ladies and gentlemen. I am enraged, are you? I am enraged. So we must make trouble. We must make good trouble. They can say what they want. We are not here to fight anybody except the man who has our money. So look at the insult. You've heard me say this before. We have trained our people in engineering, in construction, in project management, in finance, and yet in this day and age, we have a man whom we know not, We see not, we hear not, controlling our money and telling us which building must be built, where it must be built, who must build it. We have a Ministry of Communications and Works. We have a Ministry of Finance, qualified people. This man unknowingly sends requests for payment to a ministry, and he blocks out certain parts of the document because these damn fools here not supposed to see what's on the document. Are you not enraged? You must be enraged, ladies and gentlemen. That is nonsense, abject nonsense, ladies and gentlemen. And we are controlled. We send our children to school, as I said, BSc, MSc, PhD. And when they come back here, they have people from abroad who cannot stand in their shoes as far as qualifications are concerned. But they're directing us what to do. We have been made to be minions. They have gutted us, ladies and gentlemen. So we want our money. And unfortunately, we gave a man the power, gave him our power, lent him our power. But instead of him being able to execute that power, he has people from outside controlling him and therefore controlling us through him. So then in Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, or wherever they are, then you have the one in Barbados that Kerry told us in the parliament is his advisor. And you have the one from Dominica who is in Antigua controlling us. And he stays there and he calls us cockroach and cacador and mosquito and lizard. And he stays there and he calls these fellas on Kyrie FM every Monday night or wherever and have them using like fools while he stays in Antigua because it is too hard here for him in this country because we don't have our money. And I'm asking the partners on Kyrie, I'm speaking to you, whether it's Brain, whether it's the Ghost, whether it's Ronald, whether it's whoever. I'm not talking to that man who doesn't have the Christian principle that you expect. But I'm talking to those who are doing this thing just for political expediency. Think about it. Think about what you are doing. Think about it. That you sit there and you allow this man to make a fool of you. Well, there's one that they call Tick. I can't remember his name. Hold on. That is an indication of what we have. Here you are for how many years this man has been telling us how good things are. And now he's set to flight. Because things are tight here. Farmers are struggling. Feeder roads in a problem. Everything in a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we want our money. And let me ask us to acknowledge the work of Lennox Linton. Acknowledge the work of Lennox Linton. They have managed to make us and make you diss him. And we are joining with them and listen to their propaganda. But we have to be grateful for Lennox Linton. Because it is he relentlessly, with the little arithmetic that Rachel and Meshach teach him, when they were sending him to buy penny bread and giving him 2 pence, and he bring back the proper change, so they know he could do arithmetic. So it's from there that he's been able to do the calculations to tell us that right now we are owed 6 point, how much, Lennox? Lennox. 6 point what? Oh, I didn't know math was there. No, I see math. $6.4 billion. 6.4. Imagine what that could do for us. Imagine what that could do for us. And you notice they're not denying it now. They used to deny it, but they stopped denying it now. Because when Lennox put out the figure, they say it's not that. They send the man of Christian faith to tell us all kind of nonsense, and they're not jamming back. So now they're not challenging him at all. So it's 6 point something billion dollars. But I cannot stay too long. But I want to say to you, when we talk, when we ask you to act, they pick us up and they put us in jail. So myself not taking no more chance. So I'm not going to ask you to do anything. I'm not going to ask you to do anything. I am going to ask you, going forward, do nothing. Do nothing. So, not this week coming here, but from the following week, Monday, I am asking all Dominicans to do nothing. Do nothing! Oh yes, get up in your bed, go and take your bath, drink your coffee and do whatever. Apart from that, do nothing. So I'm not going to say that the firemen will not work, the nurses will not work, the teachers will not work. I'm not going to say that. I'm saying do nothing. Let me hear you. Do nothing. We're giving them a week to prepare. And from next Monday, we do nothing. Except where it is an emergency, a health emergency, we do nothing. You understand that? Let me give you this sign. So when you go in down and you say Salam Alaikum, you just do that. Zero. That's how we're going to be. Not like that, you just do zero. Because we're doing, I don't tell you, we're doing, not this week, but from the following Monday, we do nothing. And I'm going to ask the business people who are not getting paid for their money, encourage and facilitate your workers to do nothing. And I'm going to ask my friends, and I was at Lagos some time ago, and I said the DIC will not do this and so will not do this. I hear the DIC and the DF and all that, they all know well, they don't have no use, it seems. But I'll ask them as well. The business people are wrong. Encourage and facilitate your workers from Monday next to do nothing. Do nothing, ladies and gentlemen. So, as I leave, I say to you, thank you for your support. Thank you for the encouragement, ladies and gentlemen. And they cannot send all of us to Loda. They cannot send all of us to Loda, ladies and gentlemen. That new prison they have there in Loda, they cannot send all of us. So we're going to do nothing. Thank you very much. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. God be with you.
Thank you very much. Let's hear it for former Prime Minister of Dominica, Mr. Alison James. Everybody good? No, I didn't hear you. If you're good, listen to sound that you're good, so, okay? We good. Alright. Nice. I want to call now our next speaker. He's from the Electoral Reform Commission of Dominica. The Independent Electoral Reform Commission. And every time we hear from these gentlemen, we're reminded what free and fair elections is all about. Free and fair elections is about the right of the people of the Commonwealth of Dominica to freely and fairly decide who. When you have a situation in your country where your electoral process has been hijacked by a group of people who decided they will use every illegality and every unlawful behavior to ensure that they continue to steal elections, then you have a problem with your democracy and only you can fix it. And we'll talk about that too, as an action belonging to all of us working together. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother and friend, Hilary Shillingford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Brothers and sisters, I must respect the elder. Mr. James told us that we must respect the elder. I want to endorse that statement and make it clear that Mayor Stephen has been the front line and almost the single-handed man who fought for electoral reform. We'll be fighting for electoral reform. And he has not been deterred, not for 1 minute. As a member of the Electoral Commission, I would like to speak on what is taking place on the Electoral Commission. Brothers and sisters, we hear the government talking about the electoral reform. Brothers and sisters, we know what this country is like. And if we do not decide to take it from the ground we can see here, like I said at the Public Service Union, next time we go out, each and every person, bring 4 people with you. If we take that concept forward, and each and every one of you here today, we can see the sea of people here. If each and every one of us bring at least 2 to 3 people next time, we can decide we're shutting down this country once and for all, until we come together. We do not have to abandon the place. But in my view, even if it's left to me, everybody here would stay in Roseau peacefully until tomorrow morning. We would stay here, gather here, and stay here peacefully until tomorrow morning to send a clear message to the incompetent, corrupt government that enough is enough. Brothers and sisters, I've been embarrassed and ashamed by the Dominica police force. When I hear the kind of comments coming from Blackmore and the chief of police, you find a plot. Nobody has been arrested. No evidence to prove that. But you out there making a fool of yourself, trying to deter the people and to scare them. Thankfully, you all were not deterred. And you all were prepared to come out. I know maybe at 25% of the people were deterred. However, we must go out there and tell the people that we have to fight for Dominica. We have to take Dominica from Roosevelt's carry and his incompetent government. They cannot arrest everybody. They cannot imprison everybody. And how long is it going to last? If you, the people of Dominica, decide nobody is going to be arrested, if they do nothing in this country, then nobody will be arrested. If people go out there and create violence and put themselves in trouble, the police have every right to deal with them. But when you out there demonstrating peacefully, if we decide we're walking through also with that large number of people and we're disrupting everything until our money comes back, peaceful disruption, not with violence, not interfering with anybody's property, but showing the government that the monies that have been stolen by the cabal and their agents must come back to the coffers of this country. There's nothing wrong we'll be doing if we walk the streets asking for our money back. We should be commended. We should be commended by the government of the day. If they cannot face Anthony Hayden, I will call on Mark. I told Mark that Roosevelt's carry is creating a monster in Anthony Hayden. and he will no longer be able to contain that monster. And so said so done. This is a monster that is going to hunt Roosevelt Skelly, his administration. We don't have the situation with Anthony Hedman and Vincent Nesson. Anthony Hedman has made it clear to the government of Dominica, at no time should they invite him to any meeting when Vincent Nesson is around. He thinks that Vincent Nesson has asked questions. And you see what happened? Vincent Nesson came back here to be deputy leader. But he was too rude to ask questions. And he has been shot. And Anthony Hedman wants to have nothing to do with it. So in other words, Anthony Hedman is calling the shot in this country. Brothers and sisters, back to reform. We, the people of Dominica, must decide where we go. Coming here today, going back home, and may come back tomorrow is not going to help. We must give a commitment today. And if you are prepared, I'm prepared to stay in Roseau and work peacefully. We sleep on the side of the road. We attack nobody. We want no property. We just sit in Roseau. We have the right to do that. We are not out for trouble. If the police trouble us, we will sue them. So I'm saying to you all, the choice is yours and the leaders. But I believe we must send a clear message. We must send a clear message. If they don't feel us, we must show them in our face. We are right in their face. Brothers and sisters, other than that, when you are called, as the former Prime Minister said, if you are told to stay home and do nothing, they can never dismiss everybody. We must stay home and do nothing. And we must go over days and days and days and days until our money comes back to the church. Until Roosevelt Skelly and his administration realize they can no longer govern. They must have the authority to govern. We must not allow this administration to continue to govern at the rate that it is going. They are going to destroy Dominica. When Roosevelt Skelly stop electoral reform, your children, my children, your grandchildren will have no chance to be a prime minister in this country. What is this song there? Dimitri will be the next prime minister. Dimitri Child will be the next prime minister. And our children will have no opportunity to become leaders in this country. Is that what we're going to be settling for? We cannot settle for that. So it is left to you all. Whether you're going to accept Roosevelt Skelly and his corrupt administration, or whether we're going to fight to take them out and take them out at any cost. We must stand up. We must not send mixed signals. And another thing I see is every time a UWD crowd comes into Roseau, the people always go gallivanting out there. Don't KFC, Bayfront. We must show the numbers. We must come together, encourage your brothers and sisters. The meeting is on the riverbank. We must stay here and show the numbers because we have numbers here tonight. So I must go now. There are many other speakers to speak. I want to give people like Curtis Matthew, my brother here, a clear message for the Roosevelt Skelly administration. They are called, the time is up, they must pack up and give the country what it deserves. We have no time for corrupt politicians in this country. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Generation from the Electoral Commission. The for is very clear. And if the people of Dominica do not take the matter of their electoral system, their electoral process into their own hands, nothing is going to happen. It is good as it is for those who continue to steal elections. It is not good for us because we see where that has led us. It has led us to a state in which foreigners are in control of over $6.4 billion, $6,400 million of the money from the sale of our passports. We are broke, the government is broke, but they have our money overseas doing what they want with it. No civilized people anywhere in the world will accept that state of affairs, and that is one action point that must come out from tonight. What are we going to do about the missing billions of our money that Roosevelt Square is doing what he wants with it? So two things. Number one, we gathered here must make the demand that within 7 days of today, we want a statement from the government that all the money from the sale of our passports is going to be deposited in the consolidated fund of Dominica, or else, beyond that 7 days, sometime next week, Monday, we are at home doing nothing until we hear from the government about our money. Because you don't understand something. Understand something very clearly. What are you doing? You broke? You broke? Put on the cell phone light. If you're broke, put on the cell phone light. Nobody put on the light of the cell phone if you're broke. If you're broke, put on the light of the cell phone. Alright. If you're broke because the government that has your money owes people that owe people that owe people, so everybody must be broke. But the government owes people and is not paying people because the government gave the people's money away to other people. And that money that has been given to other people to do what they want with must come back to Dominica. You can take out the cell phone right now. Everybody brooks. Money brooks, anti-brooks, Helen brooks, power brooks, everybody brooks. We have to change that situation in Dominica. Because while the people of Dominica brooks, Mr. Skerritt and his friends are amassing their mansions and their millions, and they're buying up Roseau. Like Roseau is going out of style. Soon there'll be nothing left to buy. All our passport money will have gone into that. We have to take a stand. So action point number one from tonight, a demand that the government will confirm within the next 7 days that all the money from the sale of our passports, as the European Union has told us, must come into the consolidated fund of Dominica and be spent from the consolidated fund of Dominica for the benefit of all the people of Dominica. Otherwise, 7 days later, as of Monday next week, we are doing nothing. We also want to have a commitment from the government that is going to pay the public officers of this country the same increase in salary that he paid himself. 50% is good for you, it is good for the rest of the public service. And if you cannot do that and announce that within the next 7 days, as of Monday of next week, we are doing nothing. Okay? We talk about action points. Okay? We want young people of this country employed in our country. We have enough money from the sale of our passports to do it. We want our heavy equipment owners and our construction workers employed in Dominica. We have enough projects going on in Dominica to do it. And so within the next 7 days, our truckers must bring their equipment on the road and come to Roseau looking for work. And if they can't get work within the next next 7 days on Monday next week, we are doing nothing. We good? Alright. We're talking now. I want to introduce our next speaker from the Dominica Freedom Party, my friend and brother, Johnson Boston.
Thank you so much, Honorable Lennox Linton. And good evening to you, my friends, brothers and sisters. Put your hands together for yourself. And put your hands together for the organizers. That tells us we are in 2024 and we are ready, no per mass, brothers and sisters. We have on the 11th of January this very successful event at the PSU Conference Center. And from that time, the government is trembling. We call you here tonight to unite the people of Dominica, because in unity you have strength. So tonight in the crowd when I came, I saw labor rights, and labor rights, we're glad to have you. Welcome. We feel good that you understand that our country comes first. We see people here who support the United Workers' Party, the Freedom Party, NJAM, and all the other groups involved. So we're here bringing people together for unity. While we are doing that, what we have here in our country as a commissioner of police and a fake individual who calls himself a minister of defense or security, they are on radio dividing the people of Dominica. You see, they always do things against this country. They are afraid. Remember Calypso some years ago, those of you who are my age and older, that said, they're afraid, well, they're afraid the movement of coming together for the good of Dominica. They're afraid that. And let me say to the Commissioner of Police that you must do your job properly, outside of partisan politics, because your role is to provide security for the people of Dominica. And let me say again to him, there are more Dominicans in Dominica who are against this government than for this government. Remember, they have to depend on voters from outside coalitions, brothers and sisters, to be elected in government. So it tells you that this is one of the most unpopular governments we have ever had in this country. And this is why they are afraid all the time. Just announced a meeting of the opposition groups, and they're afraid they're trembling. You get power sought from the Commissioner of Police. But we have some good police officers who understand clearly that Dominica is for us, all of us. And we have a democracy, and we ought not to be afraid to exercise our rights. They're sitting cabinet for themselves. I heard there was a cabinet meeting last week. You know what they were doing? They were discussing to shift those people at the ministry to the building next to the credit union. That's what they were discussing. And you imagine, brothers and sisters, our hospital is on the struggle. They said our elderly will get free medical care. Our very young will get free medical care. Where is this? But they're discussing to rent that building next to the credit union for $1 million a month. $1 million a month. So they sit in our cabinet why our country is going down. They owe universities for students. They owe the UN. They owe everybody. They owe the government officials in Ocean. So they owe all about the place, but they're not owing themselves because, brothers and sisters, they are in it for themselves. So you came out well tonight, and I said we have this event on the 11th of January, and I want to thank the people of Dominica at home and abroad who made contributions and helped us to pay all the bills we had to host that event. So thank you very much, Dominicans at home and abroad. And that tells us that Dominicans are ready. And we are ready to move forward. And there is a saying, Bubudi, Sakijene, Sati, brothers and sisters. And that's the route we are taking. I'd like to tell you something. When you see wrong, you must call it by its name and you must stand against it. Because see, Ipatini Sutiwe, Ipatini Bole, brothers and sisters. And we are well noted as a country to stand for ourselves, our children, and our country. And we are going to do this again. 2024 is not like the other years that have gone before. We are moving forward, and this government better understand, brothers and sisters, that we have enough of them, and enough is enough. Thank you very much. God bless you, and all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Judge Pascal. And let me tell you something. All of y'all were not supposed to be here tonight. The government did its best to frustrate you. They went in Newtown, they stopped the traffic. They had the traffic check. They went in road in Capefield, where the traffic from the other side is coming, they're having traffic checks. Baffin State Bridge, they're checking traffic. The whole idea, after this plot that they announced that there was going to be violence, when they realized that wasn't going to work, of all the days they could be checking traffic, they chose today a Sunday. And right now, they're in heavy numbers packed behind the stadium. They have all their army fatigue and their weapons and so on. Tell them stop wasting their time. We're not in that. We assemble peacefully, and we will leave peacefully after we have conducted our business. No lawlessness, no disorder, no breaching of the peace. I want to call our next speaker. He is the deputy political leader of the United Workers' Party, Attorney Ronald Charles. The same Ronald Charles.
Everybody put your hands like this. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. DJ. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Martin Luther King. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, both here and abroad, Dominicans, before I go further in my presentation, I bring you warm greetings from the political leader of the United Workers' Party, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. As you all know, he is in the process of completing his assignment in South Sudan. But he's never away from us. He left the state just a few days ago, after participating in carnival events and engaging people in some of our communities. He's currently looking and listening to what we are doing here tonight. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to start with this question. Who is really running Dominica? Who is really in charge of this place? In the past, it was Mr. Patrick John. then Eugenia Charles, and then came Mr. Edison James, Mr. Rusi Douglas, and then Mr. Pierre Charles. All these stalwarts answered the call and donned the robes of stellar devotion to country, flag, and people. They each played their part in improving our lot. They played their part in unshackling our hands, in making us a people truly independent and free. But can we honestly say this is the case with our current government leader? After 24 years in government and over 20 years under the leadership of the incumbent, Dominica is today a failed state in which our youth feel they have no future. More than 50% of them are unemployed. Most of the others are underemployed for the NEP program. Even then, NEP opportunities are limited to persons who support the incumbents. And you would think that the government would make an effort to offer its NEP workers reasonable and timely compensation. But sadly, this is not the case. So our youth, the future of our country, are forced to migrate to the US, Virgin Islands, St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda, or brave the stormy seas of Guadalajara. An option, except Dominica, even there is a risk of imprisonment. But how did we get there? We got here because of the overarching policy of our government. If not passport, then what? In other words, CBI, the selling of passport, has been the primary focus. And yes, they have made billions. But where is the money? How many of our youths are employed under the CBI program? Based on the amount of money that have been collected Dominica youth should be earning a monthly salary of not less than $5,000. But instead, after 24 years, we have a country that does not offer young people a future. Agriculture has been deliberately abandoned, and this was intentional. From day one, agriculture, a traditional engine of economic growth and the main driver of the rural economy, has discarded. It was labeled as has-been industry, something that is not worthwhile, something of the past. You're left to wonder how the government was planning to feed Dominicans or provide jobs in our many communities. Tourism. Here is a statement on page 25 of the 2023-24 budget delivered by the Minister of Finance. And I quote, "Mr. Speaker, we plan to build on this momentum to increase the awareness of Dominica while making it increasingly easier for visitors to arrive at our shores. We are set to expand the sector to increase stayover visitors, increase visitors' spend, increase employment, and resilient livelihoods. We have set an ambitious target to increase stayover visitors' arrivals to 500,000 by 2013. But let's look at the Labour Party report card after 24 years. Sadly, government statistics show that tourism arrivals peaked in 2006 with 84,041 stayover tourists. In other words, we have never had 100,000 stayover tourists in 1 year. Please tell me how we are going to reach 500,000 in 7 years. Poor policy, ineffective program, square pegs in round holes, mismanagement of government. Yes, a few hotels have survived, but others have not been so lucky. New plans such as the Intercontinental Dominica Cabbage Resorts and Spa have been built, but occupancy remains low and seasonal because of poor policy and ineffective marketing practices and failure to address deficiencies in airlift capacity, because more politics than planning to improve airport facilities. So after 24 years, the Labour Party policy in tourism have failed to create jobs for young people, while parliamentarians continue to increase their salaries. Manufacturing. Over the last 24 years, we have lost all our factories and the employment opportunities that they offered our young people. Repeat after me. Kubuli, gone. DCP Colgate Palmolive, gone. Bello, gone. And more recently, Garage, gone. The few operations that remain continue to struggle from day to day, not knowing how much longer that will be able to service their debts. They will be able to service their debts. Their challenges are of no concern to the government because they do not see manufacturing as a priority. They are not interested in the loss of jobs for young people. Education and training. The education and training policy needs serious attention. One example, the Goodwill Secondary School that supports the underserved communities, but has been out of commission for 5 years. Another example is the award of scholarship to our young ladies to undertake overseas studies, but the absence of incentives from them to return. And of course, you know that the government has not been paying tuition for our university students. The policy of one graduate per household has failed, and our HI policy is not aligned to the public sector investment. Emphasis on building a digital economy for job creation is inadequate, and we lack robust programs for upscaling the necessary skills of the 21st century Dominican economy with attractive prospects for youth. Our performing arts. The performing arts is another area of neglect by the government. And in the 1970s, Dominica stood at the threshold of a remarkable opportunity within the realm of music. Yet sadly, we failed to grasp the profound vision of those champions. The Cadas Lipso movement, fellow Dominicans. We are presented with a second chance to captivate the world with our unique musical expression. We possess two potent tools for this endeavor. Firstly, Bouillon, which stands as a premier carnival music globally, surpassing even samba and soca. And secondly, the World Music Festival. Together, the United Workers' Party will meticulously craft a comprehensive strategy to elevate bouillon music from a mere activity to a thriving industry. We stand ready to unveil a detailed blueprint and commence our transformative journey without delay. Let us seize the moment, united in our resolve to propel Dominica music onto the world stage where it rightfully belongs. Together, let us forge a future where our musical heritage shines brightly, enriching our nation and resonating across the globe. Sports. Sports and sporting facilities have been neglected. Can you imagine we missed out on the World Cup and the same Ralph, repeat my after me, the same, not the same Ronald Charles, the same Ralph that said we do not need an international airport will be welcoming lovers of cricket to his shores. Well, good for them. Maybe the people understood governance. Ross University accounted for over 30% of the GDP. It multiplied effect created jobs for operators of tours, taxi drivers, hotels, guest houses, operators. In reference to the public sector investment program, that in itself is a failure, and we need to definitely address that. As Mr. Randy tapped me on my shoulder, I have to proceed a little bit quicker, and please forgive me. Ladies and gentlemen, and therefore, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, Dominicans, thank you, my friend. The fight for freedom is long. But with education, dedication, devotion, and unity, victory is within reach. As I look at this crowd, brothers and sisters, I see a gathering of patriots aspiring for a better life and a better Dominica. But we know that life without liberty is like a body without spirit. For a long time now, we the people of Dominica have suffered in pursuit of our constitutional freedom, our rights and liberty to be guaranteed survival, and our opportunity to serve our country and enjoy our land. Under this present oppressive regime, the everyday pressures are killing our people in areas of employment, housing, utility bills, and our children's education. The survival of our people and the giving away of our nature isle, the misery grows from day to day. It is for all these reasons and more that Dominicans have decided to advocate for change, to bring the families together, and to bring to the attention of those inept undertakers of the people's hope that enough is enough. As Deputy Leader of the United Workers' Party, I wish to assure you that our team will continue to grow in resources, make new friends, and unite others that are willing to work together. I thank you so much for turning up today and tonight, and may God bless you. And let us continue to put one hand up in the air like this and say hip hip hip, hip hip hip. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Attorney Ronald Charles, the Deputy Political Leader of the United Workers' Party. Let me call our next speaker. We're finishing this now because we're finishing this now. In peace, lawfully, in obedience to the rule of law. Our next speaker tonight, Mr. Clement Master. Good evening, sir. Yes. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? All right, so quickly, because of time, I'll be short with you tonight. But on my way up to, well, earlier on, I was playing cricket earlier on, right? And I saw a lady standing next to my vehicle, and I was playing in Portsmouth. And when I ran towards the truck, right? The lady said, "Sao Capella toujours." So I was like, all right. She said, "I'm a liberal, but you cannot be there and that boy also. Go and represent all of us." You know what I said? Go and speak for all of us. So I said, what do you mean by that? She said, when you speak, even if they do one thing, it's because of you. And whenever you stand up, we to benefit you. So I said, so what are you afraid of? She tell you the same thing you was afraid of. I say, I was never afraid of the Prime Minister that you are afraid of. Are you afraid tonight? I want to see everybody put on their cell phone. Are you afraid tonight? Fear no more. You cannot be afraid of the very same thing that you own. The government of the country belongs to all of us. You cannot be afraid to stand for the development of your children, my child, your neighbor's child, and those who are abroad struggling. You cannot be afraid. So I want to commend every one of you standing here tonight. I am proud to say that I am standing on the side of truth, on the side of righteousness, on the side that says we can do better in Dominica, and on the side that says I am fed up of saying that I want to help my country. As a young man, I had to make that bold decision, and I was afraid, yes, because I came from a Labour constituency, and walking towards the United Workers' Party for the very first minute, thus I could move that house, because I know it took strength. When all your friends say, but what madness you doing? When your parents are concerned and they say, but you know you resign your job, and you go in, I say, Mommy, if I don't do it,
somebody will suffer more than me. So I will take it front. So I can understand the fear, but what I want to tell you is once you pass that threshold, once you are able to stand here tonight and say, boss, I paid my bills, I run in my house, I'm working for what I want. Once you can stand here tonight, you are a strong Dominica. Everybody perform. And it is that fighting power that we are blessed with as Dominicans that will take us away from that morass that we have been for far too long. I shouldn't be a young man and my first goal is to catch a plane out of Dominica. That shouldn't be the case. And they keep telling you, okay, so when I vote with WP, what are you going to do? Well, I told a lady that in Jumla, I will tell you what I will not do. So to start out, I wouldn't sell out. So I wouldn't want to look pretty and nice and everybody like me. And then, because I'm going to sell for government, sell myself for government, that will not happen. So don't look for that. Number two, I will not stay here and do nothing until I myself start to fall apart. You need to stand up and say, enough is enough, I deserve that, and God, look at it provided for me, and my country can provide it for me. That shouldn't be the case. So we will not aspire to run out of the country after we have been trained to live in our country. We ought to be able to stand up boldly and do whatever we want, invest wherever we want, and to make the best outcome out of it for ourselves and for our children. And that is one of the reasons I stood up. I should not go for university graduate to be a university graduate, and my only goal is to run to go and help Antigua build their radio station and a GIS. Huh? So what wrong with Dominica that as a graduate I cannot get paid? I should not be qualified, and the only thing I think is about to make $800 a month in NEP. So I will not do that. And I have standing master will not stand silent while the young people are suffering and languishing in poverty. I will not stand aside and say it is okay to just follow a politician who doesn't know jack what he does. You cannot be comfortable as Dominicans with what we have today. And even if they were doing good, guess what? Your comfort zone is what kills you. So get out of your comfort zone. Go to your neighbors. Go to your friends and tell them, let us take back our country and let us move it forward to where we ought to be. And it's nothing short of being prosperous. I have taken it on my own as a young man. And I will say it boldly and unequivocally to this crowd tonight that my goal in politics is to ensure that the next generation, their lives are better than mine. The quality of life that my generation enjoys, the next generation ought to get it better. And not only one fold, not only two-fold, but 1,000-fold better. There is no reason why we have the water, the land, the air, the greenery, the resilient people, we have to be suffering. That is absolutely nonsense. And we as Dominicans need to stand as the bright people that we are, put our minds to work, put our hands to work, put our hearts into it, and start moving our country forward. We are like a boat that is dried up, and there's no material to build the boat. That is how the country is. And we can stand there and say, oh, you labor, you freedom, you... No. We all are Dominicans and we're going to rescue our land. Let us take our land towards prosperity. Stop doubting that the power that you are endowed with by the Almighty God, we all can do it collectively. We won't retreat, we won't retire, we won't recant. Let us press forward to that mark. That mark that takes our country back to prosperity, back to the times where we can enjoy the bounty of our own land. It shouldn't be that America is the first goal for everybody. So why are we dependent on each other? I will tell you why. Because collectively, that's the only way we are going to do it. So before I leave the stage tonight, I know I have been asked to be brief, but I want everybody to hold their hands together. And somebody who wants to hold my hand, get this song, hold my hand. Where are you? I want somebody. Can you see me? Can you see me? you anyway. We all are Dominicans. Together we stand. And from today on, we are responsible for each other. And by doing so, we will move our country, Dominica, the nature eye, forward. Forward we go together, Dominica. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jerry Master. We call at this time to address you, the leader of the Dominica Freedom Party, Mr. Bernard Ito. Mr. Bernard Ito. Thanks, bro.
Very good, very good. Good evening to everybody. My voice is a little hoarse tonight, so it's not as strong as I would have wished. Like they say, the devil set the traps for you. But I fought for it a little bit because I got a little flu. But I didn't fall for it completely because I'm here tonight. It's very important to talk to you. You see, here's the thing. Good is a force that you really cannot stop, you know. Sometimes you can block it a little bit. You can damn it, but you know what happens when you block and damn something? The forces build up behind it even stronger. And that is what has happened in Dominica over 20 years. Because Dominicans are a good people. Dominicans are a solid people. Dominicans are good in their heart. We mean well. We intend to become a prosperous people. But we have been blocked for 20 years from being the natural people that we are. But you know, that spirit of freedom, that spirit of resilience, of fighting is so strong in Dominicans. Because we overcome slavery. We escaped. We overcome colonialism. We overcome all sorts of difficulties to be where we are today. So it is not so easy to stop that force of good that is in the Dominica spirit. And that is where we are today. We are at the point where the forces of good have decided we can take it no more. We have built up that dam, that strength to say it is time for us to change this country radically. And do you feel it? It's happening, you know. Don't you feel the psychological change that is happening in this country? You're not excited as I am on what's going on out here? I am very excited because I am telling you, it is happening. And they know it's happening, you know. You see them starting to panic? They're hatching plots about violence and all kind of caution. Because they feel the winds of change, my friends. It is a very real wind that is blowing here. In the end of this thing is close, you know. All we have to do now is stand up together and it's over. We are getting there. The winds are changing, man. I'm telling you, the psychological balance is on our side now. They're on the back foot. So be powerful. Be empowered. And do not let their lies fool you anymore. You know what one of your favorite lies is? There are no people in this country more capable than they are. And that is the biggest lie they have ever told. There are dozens of us waiting, more competent, more qualified, more ethical for sure, to take this country to the next level. But they don't want you to let you know that. They will tell you, hey, the man in it for themselves. The man wants to get some of the money. They will lie to you. But that is not true at all. There are many people like us who believe that the psychic payments of doing the right thing, of making a contribution, of leaving a legacy is more important than another dollar. And that is what we are. We have no intention of going in there to say we're going to do this or attack this person or take this money. Because what we will be doing, replacing one set of rogues for another, that is not what we are about. We are not about replacing one set of rogues for the other. We are, in fact, truly the good guys here. And that is where we're going to the next level. We are preparing the next level of Dominica's development. And we are prepared to do it.
There are many, many things I could go into about how do we do that. We need a next level economy, and we will have a meeting to discuss that. But we have to believe in the intelligence of the Dominican people, the hard work of the Dominican people, the innovation, the creativity of the Dominican people. I tell you, we excel internationally wherever we go, and I've traveled all over the world. And everywhere I go, I am always amazed at Dominican running things. A Dominican doing big things, and that is the set of people we are. We just have to bring that here on island and do the same thing. This is headquarters, and this is where we're going to make it happen. But you have to believe that we can bring this next level economy in Dominica. We can do it. We have the people to do it. We have the expertise to do it. The other thing that we have to do is to change the sort of political culture that we have on the island. We want a positive politics. We have to object, and we will protest, and we will do the things that we need to do to point out the wrongs of Dominica. But we know what? We do not want to let Roosevelt Scary set the agenda of who we are and what we do as a political opposition. We are going to create an alternative government to this administration. We will set up the structure so that we can execute our programs. We can demonstrate to you, because we do not want you to take it on faith, that we are ready, that these people are capable, that they have the ideas that are necessary. And that is the sort of mentality that we have to take going forward. So we are here to transform our political culture, our social culture. We want to make Dominica a meritocracy. That means that if you are good, you are good. You get the opportunity whether you're red, you're green, or you're blue. It is based on your ability to do good things, to do positive things, to contribute to our country, and that is what it is about. It's a new political culture we're talking about, you know, my friends. A whole new vibe. A transformational moment is a tipping point. Because for a long time, Dominica has been sort of stuck in the same old kind of vibe. But you know what the pressure from this government has forced? It has forced us to reinvent the whole damn thing. To rethink everything about how we approach our lives. How we think about politics. What we think about what we can do. And that's the moment that's in front of us. It's an exciting moment. It has been forced upon us. But it is a good moment, because let me tell you something. In 20 years from now, we will look back and we will say, it is at this moment that the little Switzerland of the Caribbean was created. It is at this moment that one of the best modern democracies in the developing world was created. It was at this moment that we transformed that vision of what Dominica could always be into reality. And I am excited about that future. I am excited about that future for me, for you, for all of us. I am telling you, it is not a vain, abstract dream. It's a very real thing. But I want all of you all to take back agency of your lives. Roosevelt Scary has made Dominicans believe that they have to depend on him. Roosevelt Scary has made Dominicans believe that they are disempowered. But you are not. Every one of you, I want you to say, I can do this thing too. All of us doing this together. Right? When we ask, what are these fellas doing? I don't want you to ask what the man doing in leadership of the opposition. Say, what are we doing? Because every one of you has some unique skills. Every one of you here is better at something than I am. We want to put all of that together in one big pot. And we want to organize that potential and to execute and make Dominica great again. I want you guys to believe in your strength. Believe in your power. I am telling you, it is within you. Believe in your potential to transform your life, to transform the life of your parents and your children. We can do this thing if we believe in each other. If we believe in the dream, and the dream is very real, I am telling you, it is right there. We just have to reach out, organize, and take it. And that is what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, beginning tonight. Beginning tonight, the new Dominica is on the horizon. I can see it shining out there. It's right around the corner, man. Look, the headlights right there. And we are going to get it. Are you with me on that? So we are going forward, Dominica, and the new Dominica is on the horizon. I will see you there when the trumpets start blowing. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you all get the thing now, right? So a few things and we're going to leave here in a while. Number one, when you hear them talk, remind them that all the people who were here tonight have the same hymn sheet. You all hear that? We're changing what's happening now. How many of you agree with me? Let me see more hands, man. How many of you agree with me? So all the parties, all the organizations that are here, we're changing the whole stuff because we're not satisfied. That's number one. Number two, we're not living here and going to do nothing. And we will talk about the doing nothing in a while. But when you leave here, you're going to find a disciple. If you look at me like I do no voice. When you leave here, you have to go and make a disciple. Tell the people you can't live so. There's better coming. And let me tell you something. I stand here as a prophet. And I've told you before that it would have gotten worse before it get better. But now I stand here and I tell you I see the promised land. I see the promised land. It appears to me that it's here already. And you and I need to go out there and grab the thing. Are you hearing this? The change is ripe. The change is here. And we will restore. We will rebuild this country together. Where's my co-host?
But you know, we came here this afternoon mindful that our country needs us, and mindful that we have to act stronger together to save Dominica, to rescue our country, to restore our country, and to rebuild our country. And that means that from this day forward, we are going to behave differently in defense of our country and in building our country. That is why we are saying we are no longer going to be sleepwalking our way through life as a group of people in governance do what they want with our resources while the people get poorer and poorer. This is where it ends. We stand tonight for the return into the treasury of Dominica of our passport billions. We want the money deposited into the consolidated fund as the European Union has told us it must, and we want the money spent from the consolidated fund such that our government is not going to owe anymore. Merchants, firms in Dominica, individuals, hundreds of millions of dollars a year in unpaid checks that they have at the treasury that they cannot issue because there is no money in the treasury, while the treasury overseas has a lot of money, billions of dollars, from the operation of what Mr. Skerritt called our passport factory, our passport production factory. Now they're telling us we have no money, we the people have no money, when you have taken our money and held it overseas and you're doing what you want with it. It is unacceptable. You are benefiting from it, the people are not. You are giving yourself 50% salary increase, the people are getting nothing. We have no money for basic supplies at the hospitals. Healthcare is heading to jackass glory. How is that tolerable? That is why you're here today. And tonight we start making demands. People talk about action. We are going to act. Your assembly here today was a wonderful act of patriotism and interest in the further development of your country. Make no mistake about that. And we must speak so we understand one another. And we understand clearly what it is we're going to do together going forward. And from this day forward, we say tonight, we want our money back. We want an announcement within 7 days that the money is going to be deposited in the consolidated fund of Dominica. All of it. And failing that, from next week, Monday, we start doing nothing. The hashtag that will trend over the next 7 days is do nothing. Hashtag what? Do nothing. I didn't hear you. Hashtag what? Do nothing. Do nothing. Because we want our young people employed. Because we want our elderly better taken care of. Because we want the people who are employed in Dominica to be making better salaries and better compensation. And as we said, how many public officers we have here tonight? Don't be ashamed to put up your hand. Put up your hand. How many public officers do you have in the house tonight? Yeah, this means I'm a public officer. Yeah, that's what this means. This means I'm a public officer. Okay, good. Tell your fellow public officers, if public officer Roosevelt Skerritt felt that he deserved 50% salary increase, then you deserve the 50% salary increase too. And he must announce that that is going to be done. He must pay you retroactive to the day he paid himself in September last year. Or else, public officers have to decide, action time now, that as of Monday next week, we are doing nothing. We do nothing. We are in this situation because one man has our money. And we have been very patient, we have been very kind with him. He has done a lot of things in this country. And tonight, that Mr. Abdullah, Salam alaikum. Good evening, Mr. Abdullah. We've come to tell you that things are bad down here. But it's not that you don't know things are bad down here, because you have all our money. You are building the airport for $1.3 billion. You built all the health centers. You built all the this, all the that. You have all the passport money spending. But all of what has spent so far is $2.7 billion. $9.1 billion has been collected. It is $6.4 billion change. All you have for us, we want it. I want to thank my co-host. I want to thank my co-host here. Look at that. Give a big round of applause. And he's not the best co-host. He's the best host in the business. I want to thank you for looking beyond all of the trickery, deception, all of the scare tactics that were thrown at you to prevent you from being here this evening. But look at the thousands of you that have shown up. These thousands of people here tonight are more than enough to save our lovely Dominica. Don't let them think you otherwise. And the thousands who are following at home and understand clearly where we are, and understand the need for us to take back our country, understand exactly what is it we have agreed to here tonight. So I want to thank you. I want to pray God's blessings on you and let His light shine upon you. We're leaving you tonight, and stay where you are. One more time. The 10-time Calypso monarch of Dominica. With a song that is near and dear to all of us. A song that is near and dear to all of us who are broke, because the government owe people that owe people that owe people. And the government has placed our money in the hands of a man called Mr. Abdullah. Salam alaikum. Let me hear that again. My brothers and sisters, the majestic, the wonderful, the one and only 10-time, and by the way, he's the 15-time Calypso champion. I count 5 of the championships he won that I didn't give him. He's the 15-time Calypso champion. But it's 10 they give him, so it's 10. Ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Dice Joseph.
Yeah, man, yeah. I'm gonna give you a little touch on the thing first, you know? There was a time not long ago when it was safe to chastise the government. The opposition leader shared the respect of the Prime Minister and President. Now we have a tyrannical democracy where business priority creates abject poverty. To oppose government policy is living dangerously. So now truth is a sin, and lies and deception, and the truth is now trending. If I say the government in my land don't care for the local, simple truth. If I say my green Dominica has been bequeathed to Red China, I'm a wanted man. You want it? If I say Parliament has become a comedy competition, I'm a wanted man. DNA, let me hear you. Wanted for speaking truth. Wanted for caring about the youth. Wanted for wanting fairness in my life. So I'd much rather be a wanted man than to be a yes man to a godless, corrupt bunch. See, yeah, man, you have to stand up firm. You have to know, you don't have to be a scientist to know that bad is bad and good is good. You don't have to go too much school for it to know wrong is wrong and right is right. Man. Defiant bounty hunters and character assassins on the radio. Never before have we ever seen a little money with chop it and so. Yeah, men of faith selling away their blessings. Parents trading the future of their children. Fortune spent to persecute the innocent. Elimination of opposition and foreign investment. That's politics in this time. If I say law enforcement is blind to the real criminals in this time, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say the businessmen of this land are afraid of one man, yeah, man. If I say that one man fools most of the people all the time, wanted for speaking truth, wanted for caring about the youth, wanted for wanting fairness in my life. So I'd much rather be a wanted man and give my soul free from the soul snatchers. The soul snatchers hand. You know the soul snatcher, man. Don't play hypocrite there. Yeah, man. Let your African spirit come out back. recognize your African spirit. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm singing to make you aware. Things are the local treasury don't yet empty, and you will charge over treasury overseas. Over 6 billion and counting, and we the people come, yes. Never in our life before, in our Dominica, all our welfare shore, and our people suffer. We facing a crisis here, so I bypassing it, and we suspect we don't like it anymore. The money is out to now. Everybody look down here. $1 billion to a free. For our treasury overseas. If I never see God see, we sell the country money, buy the election and pay the mansion. Now we going after credit union, you see? We want to take up people. Yeah, man! Young self-right, like nobody suppress you. Don't nobody suppress your African spirit. God's in the earth that we have, and they know that. You don't know that. Yeah, yeah. It's up to you, Mr. Abdullah. Corruption of citizens falling for electoral. Government owing everybody. Any workers can't get their salary. Double need for passport printing. Businessmen in the country. You know our history. Urban black slavery. There's an opportunity to win with diplomacy. Front load money before. Front load a little more. 6 billion or 5. Oh, money is out to now. Everybody broke down now. $1 billion to a free. You will never see see, waste on the country money, fighting opposition and buying loyalty. We borrowing from social security. You see, we want to pull the pensioners. Time and time, I said, hula hula, hula hula. Life is there. Yeah, man. Let the people roar. Let them hear it. The people is power, yeah? This is a warning. It's time to laugh. To the people. To the people. Your time is coming. We will come calling. If you don't go. You sign the contract publicly in the winter time. If your mama died in leader, that is he, not Dominica. You got a chance to be a high developed country instead of prosperity. We see no poverty. So your decision could make you a wanted man or the greatest Muslim in Norway. The name is Abdullah.
Bring money. The man never think of this. We start the country money, sending all the money overseas. Now we going after MBG, you see? We going after no country. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Don't suppress your African spirit. Love people. Yeah, man. Don't let go. Don't let me down. Yes, sir. In our Dominica, all our way from shore, and our people so poor. We facing a crisis here, so I bypassing winner. We suspect you like it. Money is back to now. Money is. Bring money. Bring money. Our treasury overseas. Bring money. We start the country money. I in the election and win and shine. Now we going after credit union. He wants to be there for people. Thank you very much, Dominica. Thank you very much. We love you. We love you. Safe everybody. We're finishing our business on the river banks right now. And we are going home in peace. Raise your hand if you love your country. Raise your hand if you're ready to stand for country. And you're ready to behave differently about the future of your country. Raise your hand for the rescue of Dominica. Raise your hand for the restoration of Dominica. Raise your hand for the rebuilding of Dominica and the things that we can all do together for the best Dominica, for all the sons and daughters of Dominica. Raise your hand for doing nothing when we have to make a statement of what we want. Hashtag trending. Do nothing. Love you, Dominica. God bless you. God bless you. Get home safe, please.